Hello and welcome to Tamanon's TCGs. Today we are opening up the new set as well as the new structure deck. And once again, the talk of the town is that you do get sleepies with the structure deck and box. Every single box or structure deck gets one of these invitational Wixoss, which has a sleepy in it. When I picked mine up, I was very impatient, so I just ripped open a bunch because of course I was looking for the Tama OG art, one of my favorite arts in the game. Even have a tattoo of it. I was feeling a little disappointed, but the shop owner opened up one box topper and pulled the Tama, traded with my unopened one. Super glad that he traded with me for my unopened one. I'll definitely cherish this. I've been hoping that this card would get an English release for forever. Super happy. And there she is on my shelf. Moving right along, we actually have the pre-release pack here that I got. This is the Mama one. You actually see the Conflated Diva stamp on the bottom. I love the idea of drafting Wixoss and that they give you these seeded packs so that everyone gets to try out the new centers that come in the different sets. And you get the chance to really, maybe try a different rig than you normally would. And this is a Donna level 0. I actually have the pre-release from the last set that was stamped differently, obviously, from the other set, but it wasn't for the assist line. So it's a really cool little thing for collectors as well. I hope they keep doing it. I hope that maybe we get foils or something cool like that. I don't believe that these exist in Japan as a thing. I don't think they have like the seeded pre-release, so that kind of shows that maybe they're thinking about the American audience, or I guess the Western audience that's used to pre-release events. And moving on to some of the new cards that Mel actually makes. These are tokens, and Servant Zero on the other side. I think one of them's a virus as well. These are going to probably show up quite a bit if you ever run into anyone running Mel. Yeah, there's the virus. They are tokens that you can get inside of the packs. Ah, this is awesome. And it says the pre-release party. Amazing. I love this. Love that art. I think the other one says no Signy. On to the next new thing that is also a English exclusive, which had some of the Japanese fans going, hey, when are we going to get this, is a Uluth starter deck. Now, this thing is just packed full of really good cards. Honestly, most of the Wixoss starter decks have been. Love that Uluth art as well. Has a little quick start guide on how to play the deck. And to be fair, the deck is almost just playable out of the box. You get 2 of these, maybe change up some of the assists, and you have a pretty good deck you could bring to locals if you're a new player. Completely recommend going ahead and grabbing it, specifically because of this card, which is the Alternative Art Polaris. Now, up until this announcement, Polaris was actually one of the more pricey cards, going from like 15 to 20. I saw one said sold at some point on TCG Player for $40, and you get 2 of these suckers in this beautiful art and foiling in these starter decks for $20 along with a sleepy. It's incredible value. It's something about Wixoss that I talk about a lot that I really appreciate is the cost for entry for playing the game is so very low if you really want to just try it out. The cards are always pretty. Look at the foils that they include in the starters. You can buy, again, 1 or 2 starters and pretty much be good to play. And mostly these are pretty fun right out of the box. Like, I could imagine playing this versus the Tama or the DXM and having a pretty good time. Oh, look, more foil cards and a structure deck. Now, when they had initially announced this, everyone pretty much figured out from the get-go it was going to be Uluth and Polaris. However, I think I was pretty on the money with this little doodle here. Right? I think it was pretty close to how it looks. Taking a moment to appreciate this foiling and the brand new art that they specifically made for the English audience that is exclusive to the English-speaking Wixoss community, at least for now. Love it. Going through the main line and the assists, we got Aquino and Tamago here. And of course, that's so you can play the Miasma over here with the Dream Team, which is also a foil that you can only get in the set. I mean, you can get a foil Miasma, but not this specific kind of foiling. Same with the Never Surrender. And moving to the rest of the deck, something that people have actually been asking for a while is these non-foil Bahamets. The foiling of the Congrats as well as the DXM are the ones you normally see, so non-foils are pretty cool, especially like the fuller art. And into her plastic case she goes until I figure out what I'm going to do with her. Bring on the first box of 2 for Conflated. I actually only got 2 boxes this time. The box toppers I went with the starter decks because they were just cheaper. And there's only actually a couple cards that I need from this set for the GP that's going to be coming up at the end of the month, which I'll be talking about as we go through. Got this Kazuko box topper. Very excited about this because of my friend in Japan who loves this character. Going to be sending her a bunch of these different Kazukos in English because I don't really have a need for them, and she was so nice to us while we were there. So going on to opening up the packs, I'm going to start off slow with the commons until we kind of see a bunch of them, and then just kind of speed on through to the good stuff. While I'm going through here, I guess I'll talk a little bit about what's going to be going on. So end of this month, which is going to be July 22nd, is going to be the first Wixoss Grand Prix. That's right, the first Grand Prix. A lot of people are going to be going to it. Very excited. Going to be meeting up with, Life Burst Podcast, guy behind Wixoss app. Going to be pretty cool to see some of the people that I've been interacting with and who enjoy Wixoss as much as I do and get to play with them. The prizes for the event look really cool. I really love the acrylic stand for the top 8. I doubt I'll be getting it, but it is really nice that they're doing these kind of things. As well as the Ush Ultra Superhero playmat that is a participation prize, has Tama on it, so of course I definitely want it. And when it was announced as the prize for the GP, there wasn't any Japanese equivalent with that art, and then some of the Japanese players really wanted it, and I guess they announced it for Japan pretty shortly after. But yeah, I'm going to be going to that event. It is sold out at 128 seats, which, if you're coming from another card game, that's not a huge, GP by any means. Maybe closer to like a regional or something like that, but it's a good start. And oh, look at this card real quick. This card is really funny because I remember a while back trying to post it somewhere and it not being allowed to be posted because of some issues with the art, I guess you could see. That being said, it's kind of the reason I really like Wixoss. It's not censored, unlike some other games like Shadowverse that just came out, or Battle Spirit. Anyway, I really hate when Japanese companies decide to censor cards when the fan base that's going to be going towards these anime-type card games is not going to care. Back to the GP, I will be filming at it and making a video on it. I'm hoping to interview some people, including the people putting on the event, maybe get some information going on. Here's Mel. Oh, Driver's Ed. I thought this was a funny name for this card, actually. I'm going to need 4 of this Driver's Ed card in parallel foil since I have most of the white cards in parallel foil, and just Shadow from all level 1, including Assist, is just, in my testing, has been pretty ridiculous. But yeah, so I'm going to be filming a little bit at the event. They're going to actually have a little bit of art on show there, which is going to be pretty awesome. I think it's all diva art, but beggars and choosers and all that. But it should be a really good time. 7 rounds, and the top 8 is actually going to be best of 3, which I don't think I've ever played best of 3 Wixoss before, and there's no sideboard, so I guess it's more about knowledge of which assist people are going to be running. And to be fair, I think that by the time you reach top 8, you probably will have a good idea if you've been testing enough to know what different decks are running. So I'm not really sure how that's going to pan out. Very curious. I don't believe there's going to be any actual streaming or anything. Oh my god, sorry. This card right here. This card is really annoying. Not looking forward to seeing it. But I am looking forward to seeing it just for the art. That artist is hilarious, and again, back to the not being censored part, but that card is kind of a sleeper, I think. It's a really good card for green. Now there's another Kazuko for me. And to the Guzzy pile she goes. Right, unfortunately there's not going to be any streaming unless some other people are doing it. I think they just don't have the means apparently to do so, and some of the people who normally stream games obviously are going to be competing, so I don't believe they want to take this first chance at the GP and use it to be streaming. I'm really hoping that the people who do play give some really good feedback on what the games are like, because I'm just so curious. I don't think anyone is going to be really crowding around them for the top 8 because, one, everyone's going to be dead. I have a good feeling that by the time people are done with the event, they're just going to kind of like, well, let's go, it's Vegas, you know what I mean? And okay, real quick, Rebellion Encore. No one knew this card was going to be in the set because this card was a promo, I think, in Japan, and it's not supposed to be in the set. So this is pretty cool, these little English meta shakeups. I don't know how much it'll actually change, but I'm really happy to see it. Love Tama art on it. Tama and Uluth here is really cute. I pulled a couple foils and definitely keeping them. Again, I don't think it's really going to see much play, but I really do think it's cool when they decide just to like sneak something in that wasn't originally in the set. Yeah, so those top 8 guys, you know, playing till who knows how late. I guess it depends on their dash. Oh, Signy keep out. Yeah, there we go. Dash keep out. I really love this token. The art's hilarious to me. Of course, I love Tama, so that's why I have a couple in the Japanese, so I'm definitely going to try to pick up more of the English one. I'm sure others will do a meta breakdown for the GP, kind of like I did in my Sleepers video. Maybe I'll put this on the top if I remember to. But not really sure if I'm going to do one. I guess it depends on how much information is available. I could see them only posting the top 8 or top 16. Do expect to see this card. I'm going to be running it. Glittering. Oh no, my secret tech. I'm really enjoying this card. Just anything with white that's just 0 enter is pretty good because you're usually kind of enter starved yourself. This art's just really silly to me. There's another driver's ed. Going back to the GP, I hope to see some of you who watch these there. If you do and you see me, pretty noticeable, come and say hi. I will actually be giving out Eureka or Proxy, whatever you want to call it, cards of Tama and Vegas that I'm pretty excited about. They turned out really cool. They're in foil. And if you want one, you see me, come up and say hi, you got one. I've always really liked that in Japan, the Japanese fans, when they have events, they kind of come together and they do these fan-made cards that they give out, or like they'll be like, leave one, take one, that kind of thing. And I really hope that as Wixoss grows in the West, that we kind of take that on. Galaxy Mama. I know these are some kind of crossover for Wixoss or something like that. I'm not really sure what it's for. Don't really care. Oh, Flathrow, yeah. So this is a card that everyone in the GP is going to be seeing because it's definitely in Dash. Dash Harana is kind of the boogeyman, burn deck, coin flip deck, whatever you want to call it. I think it's a little bit better than a coin flip. I definitely think it's going to have at least a couple placements in the top 16, at least one in the top 8. I would say more unless everyone's expecting it and just goes full anti-dash. There you go, Carnival. And back to the lack of censoring, you know. They didn't cover it up per midriff like they did in Shadowverse. What a disappointment that would be if it was censored. These Fujo AoEs, I think that's another VTuber thing. I didn't look into it. I don't do VTubers. Sorry, guys. I guess I can talk a little bit about predictions for the GP, it being the first major event. I think a lot of people are going, maybe just for fun. I know it does cost quite a bit of money to go there. Vegas does not have a Wixoss scene as far as I'm aware, so a lot of people are flying in or just taking out a lot of time to drive over, which for an event where the top prizes are actually pretty low, you know, it's maybe you'll be able to sell it for like 2 or 3 grand for the total. It's not a huge amount. It's not like money like BSS was doing with like, oh, like come and win 10 grand in Vegas. It's nothing like that, right? It truly is just for love of the game, or our Fufa's mama. Ah, there we go. Kazuko, the LR. Really glad I pulled this because again, I'm trying to get this nice little gift pack going as a thank you. Really, really pretty. Love that gold vine thing going through. They really know how to make foils in this game. Every single time I see the new LRs or LRPs, I just kind of blown away. I did recently go to Anime Expo and was looking at some of the Bandai games, and I was looking over, I'm like, okay, the DBS game actually has really good foiling. The One Piece game and Digimon game have really interesting foiling. I think Digimon's alternative art foiling is pretty cool. And then BSS was kind of just not really good looking. It's really interesting how sometimes they like put so much focus on foils and framing in different card games, and then other times they don't. This card, Twinkling Eyes of Doom. Twinkling Eyes of Doom. Chunniest F card. Almost got a D-YouTube there, whatever you want to call it. Been trying not to drop as many F-bombs. That card right there is really annoying, really good. I definitely expect at least somebody to come with a crazy brew that tops with it, just because clearing a lane and stopping somebody from putting anything in the lane for basically 2 turns is just really crazy. And here we have, Miko's. Yeah, this is going to be a popular card as well. But right, people who are going to be coming out to Vegas to play are going to be the kind of people that really love Wixoss, which I appreciate. I think it's going to be pretty awesome. I know people are still going to want to win. People enjoy winning, you know? So people are going to be bringing the best deck that they feel like they're good with or that they're comfortable with. I also expect people to be on a lot of really interesting weird brews that maybe they've been playing against at their locals, and people might not expect it. And as anyone who plays Wixoss will know, like, sometimes the wrong assist line, wrong being what you're not used to, can completely blow you out of the game in a best of one. So I'm really looking forward to those top lists. I hope that they do more than just top 8 lists, because I fully expect there to be some weird stuff. Unweird stuff is this. This card right here, I definitely need to get another one. I really want the SRP. I've seen that in Japanese and it is gorgeous. This card is amazing. Just, even if you don't use the bounce or exclude effect, just being able to grab a guard back from your graveyard can just be so good sometimes. Like, it's such a necessary thing to have. But the free removal, you know, it's free real estate. This the Laya Lolly art is kind of weird to me. I don't understand the decision of turning the one muscle girl into a lolly and then like all the lolly characters not. Kind of weird. I really want to know who thought about that. On to the second box, we got the Mama Servant. Mama's pretty popular with some people. I know there's some pretty interesting brews that I've played against where you just stop 5 luring attacks or something like that. And hey, maybe it'll show up in the top, right? I mean, anything can. Maybe not anything, right? But hey, what do I know? I'm not Lifeburst Podcast. I am genuinely, for the love of the game, I'm going to be playing Mono White Tama. It's what I'm going to be jamming until the Desona Black Tama comes out. Why? Because why not? I just like how it looks. Everything just this kind of gold shine. Here's an Anashi and Maho. Some parallels. It's pretty cool. I think it's like, didn't really get a lot of Anashi in here. Anyway, I'm just going to be jamming that. It's easy. Don't have to think too much. I haven't had almost any time to test. I probably won't be testing a huge amount, so I'll see you guys at the bottom tables, right? Which, again, because we're here for the love of the game, I kind of fully expect the bottom tables to still be playing even at round 7, because you already flew out all the way to Vegas, you might as well stick around and play. Yeah, I know Vegas is around, but you're there for Wixoss, right? And while there aren't any... Oh, well, hold on. This card... Don't know what it does. Probably could read it. But this artist, again, like, every time I see their art is so distinct in this, and I just think about their ridiculous Twitter slapping. If you know, you know. Got it in foil in the same pack. I have noticed that sometimes in Wixoss, you do get a lot of packs where it's like you get the Larig card, and then you get the parallel as well. Anyway, there aren't any official side events at this GP. However, I do know quite a few people are bringing their All-Star format decks, which is the Japanese version of Legacy for Wixoss, however you want to put it. Another different mama. Yeah, I'll be bringing my All-Star Mayu deck that I'd shown in the Japanese video. I've only played it like 4 or 5 times. Had a lot of fun. Didn't win, but had a lot of fun because my locals have started to play it a little bit more. And I'm excited to play this against some other people. There's actually a print and play. Oh boy, I got the foil of the skunk. There's a print and play version of the All-Star decks if you want to go ahead and learn. I'll try to link them below. If I forget and you're interested, go ahead and leave a comment below just so I'll remember to do so. I think somebody is also bringing a Wixoss Cube potentially, which would be pretty fun. I'm hoping that it happens. Maybe playing after the event. Again, after 7 rounds, we'll see how awake anyone is. Most people might just be, like, passed out, you know? I am very much hopeful that this GP... Oh, here is a Mel Memoria. Did not get this SR in the other box. I think we got one of most of the SR, surprisingly. And Donna Go For It is a card I'm pretty... Again, the Donna line is good. I'm going to be running it. So... I'm pretty hopeful that this GP opens up that we're going to be getting more in-person events over time, hopefully in easier to reach places for people on the East and West Coast, since Vegas is kind of just a destination place. Hey, Mama level 2 LR, this is a gorgeous card. Yeah, maybe I will run Mama at some point. Look, I mean, I gotta stop building decks just because the art's pretty. But back to the point. I am hopeful that this GP leads to more in real life events, and we can all kind of grow the community, or glow as I like to still say, and get some more players, you know. And the easiest way to get players is people seeing you play, people hearing about the big events, maybe a couple conventions. Like, I really like what Bandai does and even what Bushi does at like Anime Expo. I'm really hopeful. I highly doubt it, but maybe one day. I'm also pretty interested in this card. I think it'll be good. I've seen some interesting decks on Wixoss Box, which is like the Japanese winter site for it. Anyway, that's kind of my rant going on about the GP coming up. These boxes were pretty good to me. I got almost everything I need. Just need one more Orochi, and I got the Flathro, so hey, it's going to be a pretty easy trade, right? In any case, thanks for listening to me ramble about the GP and some of my thoughts. I definitely went a little roundabout there. Still don't even really know what I think's going to top. I definitely think Dash will be there, I guess, but hope to see you there. If not, go ahead and subscribe, like, all that stuff, and I'll hopefully talk about it later. Thanks for watching.